remarks for our town board meeting to order. Please join the town clerk in the pledge of allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So for folks who are looking at an agenda, we are anticipating Ulster County Legislator Ann Peters, who got delayed. So we're going to skip over her for now, and when she does arrive, we'll accommodate her for her presentation about some of the goings on. There's been quite a bit of activity at the county legislature over the last couple of months, and she's willing to come here and share some of that activity and make herself available for some questions. So upon her arrival, we will find an appropriate place to pause and give her an opportunity to share her thoughts, and I think she's willing to take some questions as well. So I think the most appropriate thing to do now would be to open up public comment. We have a number of speakers. As per always, we try to give everybody at least 3 minutes to make your presentation. The first person who signed up was Philip Ferland.
Actually, I have some papers to take those first.
Thank you, Phil.
Good evening, Supervisor Costello, members of the board. My name is Phil Ferland. I'm a veteran. My wife's a Yale special education teacher, and we live next door to 296 West Saugerties Road. Originally, I planned to speak tonight to the town to address the standard code violations and illegal commercial breeding and unpermitted RV that's in the property. However,
Phil, I don't mean to interrupt you, but the microphone's a direction, so we lift it up. Yep, I think we'll be able to hear you better.
However, I'm standing here instead to publicly thank the Assistant Building Inspector, Sean Weaver, the Councilman Michael Ivino, and the Code Enforcement Office for their swift communication and decisive actions earlier this week. Tuesday morning, actually now, Mr. Weaver confirmed that the town attorney had reviewed the situation and determined that the occupants in exchange for labor staying at the camper was illegally distributed rent. Because of this, the property is operating as an unapproved campground, and an order of remedy is officially being issued. Furthermore, we received an incredibly reassuring message from Councilman Vino, confirming that the town has actively handled the issues and that the town is using everything in its toolbox to remedy the situation. We're incredibly grateful for the level of transparency and action. We know these processes can be complex, and we want to express our sincere thanks to the town. We also want to state that we'll be looking forward to updates and be looking at the situation too as things progress and move on. Due to the severe escalation of harassment that we've been getting from the adult that's been living in the RV. It's not a pleasant experience for us. So it's not just a zoning issue, it's also a safety issue for us at our home. And we trust that when the deadline to the order to remedy expires, the town will follow through with strict enforcement of the hazards are removed. And we appreciate your dedication to keeping our neighborhood safe. Thank you.
Thank you. Linda Krause.
My name is Linda Krause. I have 2 businesses here in Newbury Market. I'm speaking on behalf of the lithium battery proposal.
Can you speak into the mic?
So I have 2 businesses in Newbury Market on Main Street. I believe this isn't just about the proposed battery plant. The plant is part of a setup, and the people are the rat rats. It's about the governor and the state plan to make New York 100% electric electric reliable by 2030 with 0 emissions. I have a map here of all the best sites proposed that they want by 2030. Anyone can see this is an impossible task. Not only will our electric bills increase by $4,100 over the course of the year, it will leave us with a state depleted of natural resources, toxic water, soil, air, financial devastation, and irreversible damage to our ecosystem. And what do we do with the plant when it no longer is usable? New York State is going to be inhabitable if we don't stop it. We will be living under constant surveillance. I believe this should be a vote put to the people. In respect to the board members who are making the decision for us, what are your credentials to make the decisions? Do you have a scientific or an environmental background? Can you tell us what type of chemical compounds make up these batteries, or how many I also have a report on that. How many towns said no to the project due to the projects to protect their citizens due to lack of knowledge and safety issues? I also have a report on that. How many fires and failures have occurred in these facilities over the nation, and I have a report on that. How much water this plant will use, and how much water do we have to give it? Can you tell us how you say this is a type of energy is supposed to be clean, and yet we're cutting down trees only to replace the land with chemical compounds? And then I have a quick read of an excerpt of an interview with Mr. Costello called Meeting the Candidates by David Gordon back in April 2nd of 2016. Just a couple lines from it. The question was, how can the board encourage economic growth? And the answer was, this is part of your answer. We have to designate the land that's going to support businesses, and we have to do the planning in advance. We're making these properties available for the industries the community is generally accepting of. The zoning book describes that we are not going to host some type of industry like a chemical company that could pollute our water or pollute our air. That's it.
Thank you. Elizabeth Reese.
I have a prepared statement I'd like to hand out to you, and also an invitation to a community open house at the library that's going to happen on March 25th, on Wednesday. You're all welcome to come. It's going to be an opportunity for the community to have a transparent conversation about the battery facility that's coming in without having some persuasion people in. And also a class on foils, on freedom of information. Good evening. Hello. You know it's off. There we go, that's better. All right. I'm here to talk about communications, and one of the first things I want to talk about is freedom of information. I want to make a public statement regarding the FOIL request, records related to the proposed battery energy storage project, submitted in the interest of public transparency and accountability. Good evening, Supervisor Costello, town board members, and fellow residents. My name is Elizabeth Reese, and I live at 67 Elm Street in Saugerties. And I am the requester who submitted the Freedom of Information Law appeal that is before the board for consideration this evening. My original FOIL request sought records related to the proposed battery energy storage system project submitted in the interest of transparency and accountability. I am concerned about what appears to be a lack of transparency throughout the review and approval process for locating a battery energy storage facility in close proximity to residential properties. Pursuant to New York's Freedom of Information Law, Public Officers Law 89-4, an appeal from a denial of access is to be determined by the head of the agency, the chief executive officer, the governing body, or a designated appeals officer. In many towns, this responsibility is assigned to the town attorney or another designated individual. Per our town code, the town attorney is the appeals officer. I respectfully request that prior to any vote on this appeal, the board provide the public with an explanation of the following. The basis for the board's role in determining this FOIL appeal, rather than following the standard procedure of review and final determination by the town attorney, as outlined in Chapter 52 of the town's code, and whether this board-level determination applies to all FOIL appeals or only to certain categories of requests. Greater clarity on these procedural matters would promote public understanding and confidence in the town's adherence to both FOIL requirements and your own established practices. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I also have here, we are going to be starting classes. A transparent government is foundational to democracy. It's open government. We're going to be doing classes on the Freedom of Information Act so that our community can participate in our local government in a transparent way, and that records are not withheld when they should not be upheld. And there's also an email, if people want to email us so we can get you on the list for when we put the class together. It will be a WebEx type class. On a different matter, I'd like to talk about my recent visit to the Comprehensive Planning Committee last week. When the subject of the battery facility, or Winston Farms for that matter, came up, in my mind, I thought, what better place to go than to the Comprehensive Planning Committee so I can hear who is participating in creating the vision for Saugerties' future. When I went to the website to find the minutes, most of the minutes were missing from last year, and I had to follow up, and it was like an unpleasant experience following up, I will say. It's an unpleasant experience to be engaging in this level in public discourse, period. It's not how I saw my 2026 starting out. I was very grateful that the secretary of that committee did post those minutes, so I'm truly appreciative. So off I went to the meeting. I got to the meeting, there was no light in the door to go into the office. It wasn't until I saw somebody else going in, I even realized the door was open. It was propped open slightly with a broom. There was nothing to indicate there was any activity going on inside, but I went in because I follow people. When I went in there, I was told by the chair of the Comprehensive Planning Committee that the role of that committee, as posted on the Saugerties website, was not in fact the role, and that they had nothing to do with zoning or comprehensive planning. And also that it was not clear to me who were the current members and what their terms were. It's not on the website what their terms are, and the list of members was outdated. I did write to Lisa to ask if I could get an update of the members and what their terms were. And also, I think we deserve clarity. We deserve clarity on what the role of the Comprehensive Planning Committee is. Who are the liaisons to the county? Who are the liaisons to the state? Where is this dialogue happening? Because as a member of this community, I want to be part of this future-facing vision. I believe there's a gap, perhaps unintentionally, but it needs to be filled, and it needs to be transparent. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So just for reference, most of what you asked is available in our organizational meeting agenda. The appointees to the Comprehensive Planning Committee are listed, as well as the liaison, and also I believe the appointees to the county planning are listed in there as well.
Then the website needs to be updated.
Okay, those,
May I respond to that?
Excuse me, I'm not having a dialogue with other members of the public. It's my public statement. It's directed to the board.
yeah,
Okay.
okay. So, yeah, we have an opportunity to speak. Do you want to say something? Okay. All right, Sam, if you raise your hand, if you'd like to address the board, you're welcome to do so. And obviously state your name, even though we stated it ahead of time.
Hi, Sam Diedrich, Old Kings Highway, Saugerties. I'm the chairperson of the Comprehensive Planning Committee. We are going through changes in the Comprehensive Planning Committee. We have never been the ones who updated the comprehensive plan, and we are discussing a new mission statement. We have, over the past 20 years, had a change of members. Everyone on the website is a current member, except for Aiden, who is resigning tonight, and Katie's going on. And that's where we're at. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you for your many years of dedicated service.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you too. Me also, 7 years. Thanks.
Okay. All right. Did anyone else who didn't have an opportunity to sign up want to address the board? Yep. As always, come up and state your name, please.
Good evening. My name is Dia Lansback. I live in West Saugerties. And I'm requesting clarification on behalf of Stop Saugerties Battery Storage regarding the role and separation and planning, regarding role separation and planning consistency while secret review of the proposed BEST project is ongoing. As you know, the planning board is the proposed lead agency and is responsible for conducting an independent environmental review, including evaluation of emergency service impacts. There is a curious situation where the town board member, Mike Ivino, who I'm sorry isn't here to hear this, serves as the fire chief in Centerville Fire Station, which is tasked with handling the emergency response, as well as the board liaison to the planning board, as well as the board liaison to the zoning board of appeals, the bodies with direct input into the BEST application. Given these facts, we have concerns about the potential appearance of conflict of interest and are seeking clarification regarding what safeguards are in place to ensure an independent review, avoid the appearance of predetermination, and maintain confidence in the secret process. I also want to add, as a town board, you are our elected officials, and as such, we have the right to know your positions on this project. Stop Saugerties Battery Storage will continue to call for your positions until they are made public. Thank you.
Thank you. Right. Did anyone else want an opportunity to address the board? You did not have a chance to sign up to speak? Going once? Going twice? Okay, we'll close public comment. Legislator Peters has arrived, so we're going to give her her opportunity to privilege the floor and share some of what has been going on in the county in the last couple of months. And you're welcome to go to the podium.
Apologies for my delay. Thank you for making time for me. Just trying to get myself situated here. Okay. Hi. If you haven't met me, my name is Ann Peters. I am the Ulster County Legislator representing District 2, so that would be Malden, Barclay Heights, West Camp, and the Village of Saugerties. I am here tonight, and also thank you to the town board for giving me an opportunity to talk about the county issues. I just wanted to provide an opportunity and also give you my new contact information. As a new legislator, I want to engage in a positive relationship with you and with clear communication. So this is the start. There are, as a representative of Saugerties, my focus remains on affordability and safety, and I want to focus tonight on a few legislative things that have been passed or I expect to pass after an upcoming public comment period. So one of those things that public comments, there is a press release for senior tax exemptions that we will be discussing at the next legislative meeting. You in Saugerties have already passed this, but we're looking to pass this at the county level. So that I expect that to pass, but we will be looking for any public comments at our March 18th session. There is also a bus safety issue. We're putting together a legislation that would for safe passing of school buses with a fee schedule that penalizes people who do unsafely pass school buses. So we have that as well. As far as there are other things, but I don't see them as really relevant to Saugerties. You're welcome to take a look at them, and I will share that information if you are interested. The other things that I think are relevant to Saugerties are a sales tax agreement. So the sales tax agreement passed the Ulster County legislature. There's a lot of press about it. I was one of the co-sponsors on the bill. It is a 3.5% of the general pot of revenue for sales tax. So it used to be 3.3% on the whole pot. It went up to 3.5%. And then with the, in order to make it follow inflation and bring more money back to Saugerties, I really pushed for an additional 12% on the overage. This is all getting into the weeds. I'm happy to talk about these details with anyone who's interested. If you would like, and I'm also happy to present the actual numbers of what would have been the past 3 years if this agreement were in place the last 3 years, what those numbers would have looked like, so you can do a direct comparison. I have those numbers. I'm willing to talk and share them with you. The other thing, so the senior tax exemption, like I said, is coming up in public comments at our next session. The third thing that I wanted to bring to your attention that will be announced next week by the county executive is PFAS testing. So Ulster County is actually participating in a pilot program from New York State where if a resident of Ulster County believes or is concerned that they have PFAS in their home wells, that they can get testing done by the state. Then if the testing shows that they do have PFAS existing in their wells, they can have a system put in place to mitigate that with a reimbursement of $10,000 paid for by the state. So that is a program that's going to be announced next week by the executive's office with updates by the DEC about how residents can apply. I'm very interested in this for Saugerties residents. I really believe that Saugerties residents should feel safe in their clean drinking water. So those are the main three things, but of course we passed hundreds of resolutions last month and are looking at many dozens more in the upcoming months. So if there are any questions, I will be hosting office hours at Inquiring Minds this coming Sunday from 3 to 5 p.m. So if any of these issues or other things anyone would like to bring to my attention, I am all ears and I'm available. So are there any questions? I don't know if that's actually an appropriate question for you, but are there any questions or what have you at this time? Or
One topic that I think would be helpful to residents to hear about is the Mount Marion traffic signal.
yeah. Yep. So that one. Okay, pursuant to Section 1174A of the New York State Vehicle and Traffic Law, Ulster County may create a program to impose monetary liability on vehicle owners who fail to stop for a school bus while lights are flashing and crossing arms are extended. An owner liable for a violation of this for monetary penalties, $250 for a first violation, $275 for a second violation, committed within 18 months of the first violation, $300 for a third or subsequent violation, all of which are committed within 18 months, and then an additional penalty of $25 for each violation for the failure to respond to a notice of that. So, yeah.
Helpful, appreciate it. The non-area traffic signal is that scheduled for an upgrade?
Oh, I'm so sorry, I
It's okay.
misunderstood.
That other information was helpful too.
Yes. That's actually, I'm not sure if that's Aaron Levine or Jason Kovacs' district, but I am familiar that, with that, and that resolution did pass.
Did pass.
Yes, that resolution passed last month.
That's helpful because residents who live up there noticed the stop signs, and that was a hard-fought effort to get that light installed, and there was some concern. So good news to share that it is going to be.
Yes, that passed, I am familiar, yes.
Excellent, very good.
So the signal stays?
Yes.
Microphone? The signal stays?
Yes. Honestly, I am not fully familiar with that, but it's my understanding that yes, it does.
Okay. Very good.
Okay.
Does anyone in the audience have a question for Legislator Peters?
I think it would be great to come and visit you on Sunday between 3 to 5. I really appreciate you making yourself available. It's the first time in 7 years I've ever seen a legislator come in. So I hope this is a recurring thing, like maybe quarterly or something, because I would like to know what's going on. It's hard to find out what's going on.
Absolutely. So I am actually working closely with Aaron Levine, who's the legislator for District 1. So for anyone who's not familiar with these things, District 2 is Saugerties east of the Thruway and north of Sue's is a really easy marker. Then District 1 is Saugerties west of the Thruway. And then Saugerties south is is Jason Kovacs, who's the legislator for District 3. So that's just like a very broad brush stroke of where the district lines are. Aaron and I have discussed splitting where I would be coming to town board meetings and then he would come to town board meetings and kind of taking turns that way.
Thank you.
So.
Okay. Anyone else?
I'd just like to know if you have a stance on the lithium battery plant that is proposed for you?
So, yeah, my stance on the battery storage facility is that this is a municipality issue. As a county legislator, I have no intention of going forward with any legislation from the county. I believe every municipality should go through the process and develop their rules for how they want to move forward with the best systems. There are so many different details related to each of these systems. So the system that's being proposed in Ulster is different from systems that are being proposed in Saugerties. And so to do an overarching Ulster County response to that, that would I think be frankly irresponsible and not really responsive to the concerns. So I'm leaving this up to the municipality and the community to go forward with a solution.
So what's your position on home rule then in that context, given that you're saying that this should be issues specifically for the individual municipalities, then what's your stance on the home rule taking that decision away from the municipalities?
You're speaking that to New York State considering doing that. I would have to really look at that further. I am skeptical of that being the right move, but big caveat, I have not discussed that in detail with our senator or assembly person. So I would need to learn much more about what the goals of that action would be. But at the moment, just cursory wise, I am skeptical that would be helpful.
Thank you. Sorry, final thing. would you say that the municipality should have some kind of rules in place that are determined and formed by the municipality versus responding reactively to a developer coming in? That, for example, following the New York State guidelines?
So if you're looking for me to publicly tell you what this town of Saugerties should be doing, I am not going to do that. As a county representative, and I think the town board would appreciate my statement that you have full sovereignty to do what you should do, and I'm not going to express an opinion about what they should do on that.
So you don't necessarily support the NYSERDA guidelines then, the New York State guidelines as being a good blueprint for municipalities to follow? Because we had them here presenting to our town brought them in to present to us, and they have guidelines, which right now are being put to one side. And I'm addressing Ann Peters.
I understand that, but she's here to address county concerns, and that is a local issue. And we have all made ourselves very available on that topic.
You have not said anything about following New York State guidelines. In fact, you've
We'll be
avoided
We'll be speaking
following it.
about that a little bit later tonight. I am aware that of some work in the county planning department to create a draft guidance document for municipalities to support the considerations at the local level. There's a county planning board meeting happening right now, and I had some indication from people working on the document that it would be presented in draft form tonight. So our liaison, the town's liaison to the county, is at that meeting, and we've already discussed this, and she'll be communicating back to the town board on what was discussed, and we'll share that with the community.
Sounds great.
Okay. All right. Legislator, we appreciate you coming. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us up to date. We'll talk to you again soon. And what time are you Sunday? 3?
So Sunday, the Acquiring Minds from 3 to 5 p.m.
Very good.
And of course, I'll have my my business card over with the other documentation, with the agendas. So if anyone wants to email me or call me, I have my public-facing information on that card.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We'll move on to supervisor's comments. I want to welcome and thank Jorge Lopez, who's filming us this evening. Thank you. Liz had done that for quite a long time. Exciting, we have a number of meetings coming up. Mr. Stern will be happy to share about reimagining how TV 23 has been used. We accepted the resignation of a longtime coordinator, Anastasia Redmond, her last name. Yeah, last meeting. So there'll be some pretty dramatic changes. Anastasia did a great job for her years with us. And streaming and other things have kind of begun to replace traditional TV. So we're very much looking forward to trying to catch up with the times and try to make these meetings more accessible for folks who can't spend time here with us. All right, we'll move on for approval of minutes. Pre-board meeting of 2/11/26, town board meeting of 2/11/26.